Ladies and gentlemen, today we shall be treating the graphical method of proving the formula method, the formula of first principle. So the graphical method. And last time I told you there are two methods, which is the normal way and the graphical way. And I also made mention of something in the rules. I said, and as first you make your x equals to x plus delta x and your y equals to y plus delta y. And I said in the graphical method you get to understand the reason why it has to be like that. So now, first of all, let's just um graphical proof of first principle formula or first principle formula. Now you already know with this we don't start with rules, we start with the graph straight away. So now we have a graph of this. Okay, now we having a graph of this, then there is now a curve, then there is a slope like this, then we have these 2 points intersecting. So I have it like this, so I have it like this, so I have it like this. So I have my, okay, let me say my y1, my y2. It can also be referred to as my y and my y1, whichever way, any of whichever way. So my y1, y2, or better still, let me just use my y and y1. Sorry. Okay, my x here, this is my x axis. This is my x axis, so I should do my x here. My x and my x1 here, then here my y and my y1. This is my y axis. So if this continues like this, we have a straight line. We have a straight line making a right angled triangle. Right? Now from here to here is x. Right? Then from here to here, from here to here is my change in x. Why is it my change in x? The reason it's my change in x is because, like I said in our last class under limits, I said if there's an increase in commodity, then we see there's a change in the commodity. Like I use this marker again, for instance. I said if this marker was sold for 100 naira and now sold for 150 naira, then the change, that is the difference in the price, is just 15 naira. So that's actually the increase. It's increased with 15, and that's also the change. That's also the difference. That's also the increase in the price. So this rate has changed the price. So definitely the total like this, that's my x1, will definitely be equal to x plus delta x. I don't know if this is clear enough. Same thing applies to this. From here to here is my delta y. From here to here is my y. So definitely from here down to this place will be my y plus my delta y. I hope this thing is clear. So now moving on, so I can now say my, and mind you, in slope, my slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over s2 minus x1, also equal to my y1 minus y, right, over x1 minus x, isn't it? I hope this is clear. So now, and this is, and change is also referred to as a change in y over a change in s. As it is clear that it is a change in y divided by a change in x. So I can now replace this formula by saying my delta y over my delta x can be equal to this, my y1 minus y over my s1 minus x. I don't know if this is clear. This is where we are going. So now let's continue. So let's just enter a hole here and come out here. That's a flow chart. So now we can now continue by saying, now from the graph, my y1 is equal to y plus delta y, and my s1 is equal to s plus delta x. Not necessarily y1, it can be x, it can be y, it can be x2, it can be y2. So as long as I made it in terms of y1 and y2, therefore y2 will be equal to this. As long as I made it in terms of x0 and x, it will be x equals to this. So that's the reason why our x must change. That's the reason it must change. That's part of the reason it must change. So now, moving on, since we have this, then, and from the question, the real question we're given is that y equals to my f of x. That's my question. Y equals to f of what? Of x. So we can apply that using that form by saying my delta y over my delta x equals to y1 minus y over x1 minus x. So my delta y over delta x is what's my y1? My y1 is equal to y plus delta y minus y all over x plus delta x minus x. I don't know if this thing is clear. I don't know if it is clear. And from what we did in the first place, if we are to obey this law now, can say from here, my question is y equals to f of x. So I can now say from here, my y can be equal to y plus change in y, and this one will be f of x plus change in x. They are still the same thing. It's just that here I've applied this, here I haven't. This is the true given function. So now we can make some substitution. Yes, I can say my delta y over my delta x equals to my y there. My y here is also equal to this. My f of x here is also equal to this. I don't know if what I'm doing is correct. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even understand what I'm doing particularly. So if this can replace this, so I can have it like this. So my y plus delta y equals to this. X plus delta x. And my y is also equal to this. F of x. Do you understand the logic? I applied this law. This became this became this, right? So I now have two functions. I have my y equals to f of x. I also have my y plus delta x equals to f of x plus delta x. So now I now group this again by saying since this is equal to this, then let me substitute it here. And since my y is also equal to f of x, let me substitute it here. So now x here will remove this x all over what? Delta x is left. So if I should now take limit of both sides, whereby delta x tends to be 0, we are having delta y delta s equals to same limit here where delta s tends to be 0. So we are having f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x. So once I find limit of this, it becomes what? dy ds equals to limit delta s to be 0, x plus delta x here minus f of x all over delta x. So this is the formula. So we got the same formula all over again, now using the graphical method. So that's just it. So in the first place I used graphics and graphical method to explain the limits and everything, and limits brought us to gradient or slope. So it's the same thing I've now used to prove it out. And I also use the normal principles or first principle itself. So that's that about this. Thanks for watching. Meet us. We meet in our next video, and I would like you to never forget to subscribe to this channel, like, share with your friends, and also comment below any challenge you have or anything there is not clear, any topic. Just try and hint us in the comments below, and don't forget to press the bell icon in order to get to know whenever new classes are being dropped in the channel. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Meet you in our next class.